because this tells you about the motions. The motions that we use. So it's a 4-H pledge, and it tells you in there where your hands are supposed to be when you say the 4-H pledge. Alicia, do you have the flags?
I'll grab them.
Or you want to? Oh, I didn't know what was in your.
I see them.
Okay. I'm going to say the 4-H pledge for you, and I'm going to show you the hand motions. And when she comes back in with the flag, we're all going to say it together. We're all going to stand up and say the pledge. So when we say the 4-H pledge, and it says right on there, on the first, it says, I pledge my head to clear thinking. And you take your right hand and you put it up by the side of your forehead. I pledge my head to clear thinking. The next line is my heart to greater loyalty. Where do you think your hand goes when you say my heart to greater loyalty? Over your heart, just like when you say the Pledge of Allegiance. Your hand goes over your heart. My hands to better living. Okay, so we put our hands just out in front of us. Oh, sorry, my hands to larger service. It's hard when you split it up. It's easy when you say it all together.
Yeah.
And when we come to health, we just simply put our hands in front of us. Our health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Okay? So if you guys want to read it, you read the words down that left-hand side, and while we do the motions, we need everybody to stand up. We always stand when we say our pledges. Annetta is holding the 4-H flag. So someone holds a 4-H flag, and we look at that flag, and we say, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Okay, and that's the 4-H pledge. So that's something you'll need to learn and you'll need to memorize. Cloverbuds and Explorers, we're going to talk about that when we have our first meeting, because we're going to get you signed up to go to an event that you can say the Pledge of Allegiance and the 4-H pledge and get a ribbon. We're going to do that in maybe January. I don't know if they decided they're combining those two things yet or not. So.
I'm actually on the committee on that
Well,
one.
we'll talk about that later then. Fantastic.
Working on it.
Okay, and just one other thing I want to mention, because you guys will all have the opportunity to hold flags during our meetings. So when we hold the flags, one person holds the American flag and one person holds a 4-H flag. Which one is more important? And I bleed green and I like 4-H, but which flag is more important? No, it's the American flag. Because the American flag is 4-H is just kind of a little smaller deal than America. So we always hold the 4-H flag slightly higher, or the American flag slightly higher than the 4-H flag. And when you are holding the flag, you don't do any of the motions. Okay, we just stand there and we hold it. We don't do our heads or hearts or anything like. Even if you're holding the American flag, you don't put your hand on your heart. You just hold the flag. Okay. All right. So now that's what I was saying a little bit about what the American flag is more important. We kind of talk about the levels of 4-H. And when we are here, this is the club level. Club level is the most basic level of 4-H. There's really nothing beyond, lower than that, other than our committees and subcommittees within the club. So club is our level of 4-H. We take it a step up to the county level. So the Busy Fingers 4-H Club is a part of Pierce County 4-H. And our county office, our county extension office, is in Ellsworth. And a step up from that is a district. The district level is usually between 8 or 10 counties that are in the area that make up a different district. The whole state of Wisconsin is divided up into several districts. So like Pierce, St. Croix, Polk, Dunn, the counties from this area going a little bit north, and to the east as far down as Pepin. Pepin County is probably the farthest, maybe Trempealeau.
Trempealeau is in our camp, so I think they're
district.
included.
Yep. So then from the district, all the districts make up our state level. So the state of Wisconsin has a 4-H program that's specific to the state of Wisconsin. And counties can do things as long as everything follows that state, what the state says. Clubs can do things as long as we follow what the county says. And beyond the state of Wisconsin, 4-H is nationwide. So in the United States of America, 4-H is everywhere. It's worldwide. It's in every continent. So 4-H is a big deal.
Over
okay?
50 countries right now have 4-H.
That's a lot. And you can look, there's some papers again where it says about what is 4-H. It has, and then it has those statistics in there about the members and how many countries and just how broad the scope of 4-H is. Okay? So we're going to look now, we're going to talk a little bit about our club meetings. And for you young kids, I'm going to be honest, this is the most boring part of 4-H, but it doesn't have to be boring. We gotta do other activities and we do some fun stuff. The Clover Buds, well, let's talk a little bit first of all about now Annette just gave, they all have the new calendar in their binders?
Yes, they should all have the
Okay.
newest calendar.
So in the front of your binder, you have a calendar that doesn't say Joy T on it. It looks like
If
this.
you have a calendar in your book that does not say 1029 down in the corner, let me know. I have extras.
Yeah, this bottom, so it was revised.
Yep.
1029, so make sure that's that's the most current updated one. So this is a calendar of our monthly meetings and our monthly activities. So we meet every month, usually here. Sometimes we do recreation or we do some kind of fun community service activity, so we meet somewhere else. Like last month we carved pumpkins. Some of you were there when we carved pumpkins out at the Emery's. Last year we went swimming one month and had our meeting at the park. So we do things like that. And sometimes even what's on this schedule now may change if we come up with a good opportunity. But this is where you look so that you see what's what. And so you'll see for our meeting tonight, we have, it was our 5 p.m. orientation and the meeting in the potluck, and it says who holds the flags. The names are in there, who holds the American flag and who holds the 4-H flag for every month. And the roll call at the meeting tonight, our secretary, one of our co-secretaries is going to call your name. And you have to answer the roll call. So tonight's roll call, we're not going to answer it now, but you're going to think about this. What is your favorite part of your Thanksgiving meal? So be thinking about that, because when they call your name at the meeting, the way that we know you're here is by answering our roll call, your favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal. And that's likewise, that's the same through every month then. So when we come to a meeting here at the Legion, we begin at 6 o'clock, and do come on time, because Alicia is our president, and we start at 6 o'clock, don't we?
Yes.
And you don't want to miss the good stuff. We don't want to miss the pledges.
Right. We will try to have the Legion open about a half an hour before, so feel free to come if you have questions or need something to talk about. We're usually here a half hour early.
Yeah. So when you come to a meeting, this room where you're at right now is where we hold the meetings. Typically, we like the kids, we like the club members to sit in the chairs, and we kind of try to have the adults kind of sit back so that the adults are not so much a part of the meeting. Obviously, when you've got kindergarten, first, second graders, they're going to need a little help. And so it's okay to sit by them. The biggest thing is if we've got adults, tall adults sitting in the front, that causes problems for the kids sitting behind them. So if you are a parent that does have really young children that you need to be next to them during the meeting, try to sit to the ends or in the back, or to the outside, so that you're not in front of a smaller child. Because nothing is worse than a kid that can't see what's going on. It's bad enough to do some of the business things sometimes and to talk about stuff. And if there's somebody in front of them and they really can't see, you'll be ready to pull your hair out. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's kind of where we sit. When, Alicia, Madam President, when should club members be speaking during a meeting?
When they're called on.
When they're called on, or when the president asks you something. Does anybody have an idea about what we should do for our Christmas party? You raise your hand, the president calls you by name, and then you can speak and talk to them. Who should speak? Should all our mom and dads be talking about, at the Christmas party, I want to do a coloring contest and I want to go caroling? Should the moms and dads be saying that? No! 4-H is about the kids. It's a kids club, not the parents club. It's your job to help them. Maybe if they need a little nudge, or telling them what to say. Especially, you'll see as we make some motions, it gets a little confusing. So the moms and dads or the older members have to kind of help with the words of what to say when we do things like that. Okay? So I kind of already pointed out Alicia and some of these older girls here.